Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live today on the Prince of Investing, coming to you guys and girls live. So hopefully I'm saying this name right. It's the ROBLOX Corporation. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. Files for IPO. So today's topic we're going to go over. We're going to look at the S1 filing. Hopefully I got that form right. It's the S1 filing. We're going to that they filed with the SEC. We're going to look at their risk factors, the competition. We're going to talk about what is an IPO, because some people, Prince, I don't know what an IPO is. And we're going to look at the finances with them coming out and then all that other great stuff. But if you haven't done so already, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and make sure hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you're now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is Grace's host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live, all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we are going to jump straight into it. So what we're going to talk about today, ROBLOX has filed its IPO. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is an IPO for the people out there who may be new to investing or whatever the case may be. And if you are catching this live, drop a comment. Tell me where you're from, where you're checking in. That'd be greatly appreciated. Join the conversation. So what is an IPO? An IPO is an acronym for Initial Public Offering. This is the first time that the company goes to the public to raise money. It's becoming public. It's right now, ROBLOX is a privately held company and is working to become a publicly held company. So when you're private, right now I have a private company. I can raise money from investors. I can sell stocks privately, whatever the case may be, via a security agent. A security agent can help me sell shares to raise money. But now when I go to the public, I'm looking to receive money from the general public, right? Anybody with an E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, Scottrade, Charles Schwab, any broker can go on and purchase my company now when it becomes open to the public. When it's privately held, that means that usually when companies are private, only executive, insiders, people like that get access to them. That's kind of changing. But now, initial public offering, this is your first time going to the public to raise money to grow your business. So that's what an IPO is. So the first thing is let's look at the overview of ROBLOX. Let's see what it is prime overall. So let's pull up exactly what they say they are. We're going to pull up the S1. I'm sharing the screen here for people who can't see. Let's go up here to the table of contents and let's look at the overall business to make sure I'm not messing anything up. Let's scroll up here. I just was reading it earlier before I came onto the show. I should have put a date on it. No. So for you guys and girls can see, this is ROBLOX Corporation. This is the S1 filing. I'm not sure the date they actually filed this. It's like a couple days ago. But the reason why I chose this company, these are the underwriters: Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, JP Morgan, APC Capital. Those are the underwriters that's taking this company public. Right now, they're saying they had 31 million daily active users, DAU. They got 22 billion hours of engagement, $589 million in revenue. We're going to get into all of that later on into the show. But let's look at the company itself. Okay. So essentially, they give you the overview of the company. It's pretty much our ROBLOX human co-experience platform consists of ROBLOX clients, studio, and cloud. So it's pretty much a place where people go to play games. They can create games, they can share stuff, and all that good stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't use ROBLOX. I never used it in my life. I'm not a video gamer, so this is not a topic or a sector that I'm very interested in as far as like in my personal life. I don't really play video games, but I do understand what people are using. So right here it says our co-host human experience consists of ROBLOX clients, ROBLOX Studio, and ROBLOX Cloud. ROBLOX Client is the application that allows users to explore 3D digital worlds. ROBLOX Studio is the tool set that allows developers and creators to build, publish, and create 3D experiences and other content assets with the ROBLOX Client. ROBLOX Cloud includes the services and infrastructure that power our human co-experience. So you have the cloud, you have the studio where people build stuff, and then you have the client that allows people to play. So the client is when people come in and play. The studio is where people build stuff, and the cloud is what overall handles this whole thing. So you take somebody like me, for example, who don't know a whole lot about the company. So the first thing I do, I know it's popular. I know a lot of people use it, obviously. So I look at the company, I look at the overview. So that is the overview of ROBLOX. So the next thing we're going to look at that we're going to be concerned with, let me take you guys' comments first. And I'm going to take y'all comments, and then we're going to get into the risk factors. We're going to see what are the risks that ROBLOX is going to have to deal with as it becomes public. And what's going on, Big Al? What's going on, Al? We got Willie. What's going on? We got Willie Crow out here. He says, great info, Dykes. Thanks. Anytime. Then we got Indu. Greetings. Indu from San Diego. All right, got it. Facebook user says, good video. Appreciate it. Miss Ruby, how you doing from Memphis, Tennessee? How you doing, Miss Ruby? That Tesla stock is paying off, and Apple is making its comeback too. So good job for you for holding on to Tesla as it got included into the S&P 500. And also Apple is kind of making its way back to where it was before its post-split. You know, post-split or whatnot. So let's get into the risk factors of the company. Let's get into the risk factors of the company. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Where are the risk factors of the company? All right. All right. So now we're going to go to our table of contents on the S1 report here. And hopefully I'm not pronouncing ROBLOX. Hope that's the right thing. We're going to go to their risk factors right here where it says risk factors. So they got a few risk factors. These are risk factors that can destroy the business. I'm very keyed upon this when a company IPOs. Every company has risk, but I want to look for unique risk that's unique to the company, right? So the first thing they talk about, we already know, we have a history of net losses and may not be able to achieve profitability in the future. We have occurred. This is what the company is saying. It's a risk factor. They have netted losses. They are a losing company, and they may not be able to become profitable in the future. So everybody know what ROBLOX is, but is it profitable? Can it become profitable? Now, one of the big profitable companies that I'm big on is Uber. Why is that? Because Uber is in its own space. It's by itself. It's a King Kong. Versus you have somebody like a ROBLOX is going into a space that's pretty crowded. So we're going to get into that later about the competition that already exists for ROBLOX to be able to make some money. So the first thing is we have incurred net losses since our inception. We expect to continue to incur net losses in the near future. We incur net losses of $92 million, $86 million, and $203 million for years ending in December in 2018 and 2019. And the 9 months ending in 2020, all the way up to September, respectively, as of September 30th, 2020, we have accumulated a deficit of $484 million. So the financials are not looking too pretty on this. All right. So it's a losing company. That's one thing. It's a losing company, and it may not be able to dig itself out of the hole. Understandable. Right. Our financial conditions and results of operations fluctuates quarter to quarter to predict our future. So you can't predict their future, is what they're saying. I'm not overly concerned with that. I'm concerned with that, but I understand that with the company. Now here's a big one. Our company is affected by seasonal demands, and our quarterly operation results fluctuates. So seasonal, pretty much when kids have to go to school, ROBLOX does not do well. When kids stay home, we have lockdowns, we have COVID-19, kids get to spend a lot of time at home, usually during the holiday season. That's when they see their numbers go up, and their daily active users, DAU, goes up tremendously. When kids are at home, they do well. When kids are at school or something like that, they don't do as well, which leads me into the next big thing, the pandemic. When you look at the pandemic, they have benefited from the pandemic. How have they benefited from the pandemic? A lot of people are forced to be at home. A lot of people are forced to be, locked inside. They see their numbers just grow dramatically and crazy. But it's just like the Zoom effect. Zoom shot through the roof. Great 2020 for Zoom. But the thing about it is, can you sustain this once we have a vaccination, once this COVID is behind us? I know it doesn't seem like it's going to go away, but imagine 5, 10, 20 years from now when we're looking back on this and we're all laughing and we're all vaccinated or whatever, and now we're going a third eye or something. But anyway, can Roblox be able to maintain this momentum outside of COVID-19 conditions? They just said that during seasons when kids spend a lot of time at home, they do very well. What happens if we return back to normal? Their daily active users is going to automatically drop because people are now at work, kids are now at school, they don't have the time to sit at home and be on that iPad, tablet all day. That's a concern for me. They have benefited from people being locked in places. What's going to happen when people get back to opening up every day? They say they depend. Another risk factor is they depend on operating system, hardware systems that they do not control. That's everybody online. Right now, I'm dependent upon social media and all these other programs to push my content on Spotify, to push my content on all these different places. Spotify can go down today or tomorrow. So that's just the price of doing business. I understand that risk factor. The next one they're talking about is, I'm not really concerned about that one. I wrote some down over here. Also, being safe for children. Right here. The success of our business model is contingent upon ability to provide a safe online environment for our children to experience. And if we are not able to continue to provide a safe environment, our business will suffer. That's where you're going to have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. When you're looking at your business, their reputation, since it's very kid friendly, you got some child predators out there that want to get on there and play with kids and find a way to, I remember one time there was something on YouTube where it was making people commit suicide, something like that. That's something that's very unique to them because they have to be kid friendly in order to survive. Okay, those are the big ones that I saw with their risk factors. The next thing we're going to look at that we're going to jump into their finances. Well, no, we're going to jump into their competition. Who is the competition to Roblox? What is and who is the competition to Roblox? Let's take some comments, then we're going to get into who is the biggest competitor to Roblox. All right. Jimmy said, what's going on, Jay White? He said, Tesla, baby. Oh, yeah, Tesla is definitely paid off. Always good to hear your share. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know who that was, but the competition, the reason why competition is important when it comes down to investing is as an investor, if you come to me and you have a sandwich shop, and your sandwich shop, you have, I don't know, it's unprofitable, it's not making money or whatever the case may be. Then down the street from you, you have another sandwich shop that is making money, that has great finances. I'm going to compare and contrast. Like, why would I put my money into a company, a startup that's losing when I have a company that's already established? For prime example, if somebody come out with something called Willie Burgers, I saw Willie in here earlier. So you got a company called Willie Burgers, then I have McDonald's. As an investor, Willie Burgers is new, it's unprofitable, it's unproven, but right down the street, I have McDonald's that's making billions and billions of dollars, and I'm looking to park my $1,000. Where you think I'm going to park my $1,000? Unless Willie can convince me, Willie Burgers got to be able to convince me that it has something that's new, innovative, that's going to be able to take over the game, is why I'm going to choose them over McDonald's. So the biggest thing of Roblox, who is their top competitor? Number one, I want to know if your finances don't look good as the competitors, why not go with the competitor? Why go with Willie's Burger over McDonald's? Let's compare and contrast. The second thing is, if you are entering a space that's already crowded, what is the big guy doing? Is the big guy making money? Is the big guy doing everything? Is the big guy making money or whatnot? That's something that's very, very important. The reason why that is important, because when I look at you, and I look at Willie's Burgers, right? And I'm looking at McDonald's, and I'm comparing Willie's Burgers and McDonald's, right? I'm going to look at who is the biggest competitor, and I'm going to show you guys and girls how to find out the biggest competitor. Because right now, Roblox just told you we're losing money, we're not making money. I want to know, well, who is making money? Will you have the ability to make money? All right. So before we jump into that, let's go in here. Willie, what's going on? He said, I'm still here. Hashtag Willie Burgers. So I got Willie right there. Al said Minecraft. Minecraft, I don't think it's his own company. I think somebody owns Minecraft. But we're going to take a look. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all ready for it? Here is the largest competitor in the gaming space. Now, here we go. I'm going to show you where I got this from. I love to teach people how to fish. So you know where I got this from. On this S1 report that you have in front of you, we're going to stroll on down here, and it's going to speak about their competitors. Let's stroll on down. All right, here we go. All right, right here. Our business is highly competitive and subject to rapid change. Right here. It's their competitors. What I have highlighted, let's read it. It says, we compete with both users and developers and creators. We compete to attract and retain our users' attention on the basis of our content and users' experience. We compete for users in their engagement hours and global technology leaders such as Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, and Microsoft, and Tencent, global entertainment such as Comcast, Disney, Viacom, global gaming companies such as Activision, Electronic Arts, which is EA Sports, is in the game. Take-Two, Valve, and the list goes on, right? So for prime example, if I'm sitting here on YouTube or Facebook or Microsoft or whatever, you're taking away the attention for you to be on my platform is what they're saying. But more and so, gaming companies such as Activision, ladies and gentlemen, I did the research. They're telling you who their competitors are. I did the research. And the biggest company, the biggest competitor, y'all go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if y'all like the content. Share it around with your friends and cousins, all that good stuff like that. This is their biggest competitor. Activision is the biggest competitor. How do I know they're the biggest competitor? In the space, in the gaming space, Activision has a market cap of $61 billion. Market cap is the ability, the market cap is telling you how big the company is. It takes the shares outstanding times the shares price. That's how we get the market cap. This gives me a good idea how big the company is. The biggest bull on the block right now is Activision. If you don't know who Activision is, Activision owns Call of Duty. You see the companies right here. This is their website. They have Call of Duty. They have, I don't know who this is, Crash. I don't know what company that is. They have another one here called Trilogy. I think I've heard of that one. They have Diablo, Candy Crush. I remember Diablo. I've heard of this one. I know a lot of gamers and stuff. They got Tony Hawk on here. World of Warcraft. They have World of Warcraft. I know you heard of World of Warcraft. They have Overwatch, StarCraft. The list goes on. These are all the companies that Activision owns. They are the big boys on the block right now. They have a market cap of $60 billion. So when I see this I have to ask the question of, hey, so what does the finances look like for Activision? And what does the finances look like for ROBLOX, right? So you see the biggest competitor is Activision. Activision is the big boy on the block competing against ROBLOX due to this market cap publicly traded companies, right? So here we go. Now you know who the biggest competitor is. How does the finances look? Let's first look at ROBLOX's finances. They haven't become public yet, but they do put out their finances first. All right, here's their finances. This is their money in the bank. How much money does ROBLOX have in the bank? All right, so their total assets they're reporting is, this is in millions, this is in thousands. They have $550 million in total assets. Not bad. Total liabilities, they have $503 million. So they have $47 million in net worth. So the net worth of ROBLOX is $47 million. So now let's take a look at their revenue. In September 2020, they reported they made $588 million, right? Now, by the time they paid all their bills, they had $580 million. $580 million loss from operations, other expenses. They reported a loss of $205 million. All right, $205 million. So this is how much money they lost. They reported in their most recent earnings. They're down $205 million. They're a losing company. This time last year, they lost $46 million. So they lost $46 million last year. Now it's up to $205 million. I don't like losing more and more money. All this other great stuff like that. Let's look at their net losses. So right here, their net losses is $205 million. What does it got here? Now we're going into their, what is this? No, I'm not really concerned about the shareholders' equity. The shareholders' equity. So their network is $47 million. $47 million. $47 million. They have a network. Once you take their total assets and liabilities, they reported their last loss of $500 million loss. Let's look at their total current assets. Total assets. Total current assets they have is 400. No. Okay, they got a lot. Okay, they got $1.2 billion in total current assets. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I read the old. I'm sorry about that. I read this. They had this backwards. Sometimes financial reports report left or right. They have 1.2. What I read, 550 million. That was from 2018. Right now, they have $1.4 billion in total assets. Correction, they have $1.4 billion in total assets. And then they have $1.4 billion in total liabilities, leaving them about $50 million in total net worth. So the network is still about $50 million, but they have total assets a whole lot more. Their total current liabilities, $1.2 billion. Their current liabilities, the total current assets is 1.2 billion. Their total current liabilities is 1 billion. So they have $200 million in working capital. $200 million in working capital, $50 million in net worth, right? What else we got here? So now let's take a look, since we're looking at their finances. He said $1.4 billion in assets. Not bad. That's not bad, but you got to look at the liabilities. It ain't how much you got, it's how much you can keep. So now let's take a look. Let me pull this up. We're taking a look at the finances. I got to update mine. So we're taking the financials, which is the most important. They have $1 billion. So let's take a look at Activision. Now the stock price for Activision is $72. Now let's take a look at that. Now we're going to take at the finances of the top competitor in the space right now, Activision. So Activision, here we go here. No, that's not the one. I want to pull up this one. All right. This is Activision. I'm going to blow this up for y'all to be able to see. There we go. All right, there we go, right here, so I can see a little bit. All right, so Activision assets. Total assets of Activision as of September 30th is $9 billion. So they're saying they have Activision has $9 billion in total current assets. Current assets is total $9 billion. We're going to look at their total current liabilities. $2 billion. So Activision has about $7 billion in working capital. $7 billion in working capital. Total assets of Activision is $21 billion. $21 billion. Y'all thought that $1 billion was cute with Roblox, right? Activision has $21 billion in total assets. Now their total liabilities. Total liabilities of $7 billion. $7 billion is their total liabilities, bringing their net worth to $14 billion. So Activision has a total net worth of $14 billion, and it has working capital of $9 billion. Now remember, ROBLOX said that it has a working capital of $200 million, and it's had a network. It had a network of $50 million. So you can see drastically how big So Activision is $72, around $70, right? So now I got to ask myself the question: when Roblox does come out, when I'm looking at Activision, I'm looking at Roblox. What's going to be the price of Roblox? Roblox is going to come out. It's going to be all excited. It's going to have all the marketing. They're going to be ringing the bell on the NASDAQ. Everybody's probably going to jump into it. And I'm going to see how much is Roblox cost versus Activision. Now let's stroll on down here. Let's look at their net revenues. Let's look at their net revenues. Net income. The net income for the last 9 months is $1.6 billion. That's how much they're profiting. That's their net positive. Now we noted that Roblox is losing how much money? Roblox is losing, let me stroll on down here and make sure I got this right. 2020, 9 months, 2020. Their revenue, they're reporting a loss of 200 million. They're losing $200 million. They're reporting a negative loss of $200 million versus Roblox. Activision is making 1 point something billion dollars, right? So here we go here. Alan said there are more kids than adults. If you win them, you're winning. Yes. And kids will decide what's going to be hot in the future. And somebody said, someone on Facebook said, absolutely. All right. Michael Davis, what's going on? He said, hello. Hope all is well. Charlotte, North Carolina in the house. What's going on, Michael Davis? We're doing pretty good. So now we broke down the finances, right? Now that we have broken down the finances, we see that Activision has a net worth of $14 billion versus Roblox has a net worth of $250 million. $50 million versus $400 billion. When you're looking at how much money they're bringing in, Activision reported $1.9 billion. At the same time, Roblox is reporting a negative $200 million. Activision is $70 right now. Roblox, I guarantee you, it's probably going to be over $50. It's probably going to cost more than Activision. So when I look at these two companies, when I watch these IPOs, I want to see, okay, this is a losing company. It's losing money. I know the finances of this company. I'm going to watch you IPO. I'm going to watch you come out, watch everybody go all excited, and I'm going to watch how they're going to come down, right? Then I may get into it. So Uber came out at $40-something, ran up to $50-something bucks. Then it cut all the way down to $25, $20. And then that's when it got on my eyes. People brought it to my table. I said, let me take a look at it. I looked at the finances and I said, okay, I can possibly take a chance on it. But Roblox has a good name, has a good brand. But guess what? Roblox right now, when you look at the finances, they have a long way to go. It all depends on the price of the stock when it comes out so that you know it. So we looked at the finances. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go with what we talked about today. Let me see this. What's going on, Mr. Williams? Sterwin Williams? He said, hey, brother, how you doing? Oh, they're on YouTube. All right. So right here, what we talked about today, we looked at the IPO of the companies. We looked at the number one competitor of the company. We looked at the risk factors of Roblox. We looked at the overview of the company, and we looked at the risk factors. Then we broke down the finances between the juggernaut in the business and also the little guy in the business. So when you're the little guy and you're coming on the block, the only way you're going to be able to make some money is to take money from somebody else's table. So it's going to have to take some money from EA Sports, Take-Two, Activision. It's going to have to take some of their money. So we're going to be able to see, can they do this in this pandemic time, right? So as we're looking at it right now, as we're looking at everything right now, this is the way we got to be able to look at the world, okay? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's my take on Roblox. My overall take on Roblox is going to be, it all depends on, I don't never buy IPOs right when they come out. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch it. I know the finances of the company. I know it's a losing company. I know that it's not making money. I know that it has a good brand. It has good potential, but it has some more proving to do. And I know Activision is $70. So I want to see how much Roblox is going to be. Because Roblox, looking at its numbers right now, Roblox should be around that $30, no more than $30 range, right? It's still it has a net worth of $50 million, a $50 million company, net worth wise. If a $14 billion company is going for $70, I want to know how much this $50 million company is going for. I'm not going to, anything over $30, I feel is too expensive for Roblox at this time. But we're going to see how crazy people do when it comes out and it goes public. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. That's my review of the finances. That's my review of the competition finances. That's my review of the IPO and its risk factors for Roblox. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sterwin, I just did an episode on Airbnb on Think Tech Hawaii. So that episode will be out tomorrow. So tomorrow you will see my take on Airbnb. But to give you a quick synopsis of Airbnb, number one competitor is Priceline, aka Booking.com. So right now, Airbnb, Priceline, Booking.com is $2,000 right now per share, and it's the big boy on the block. I forgot how much his market cap was that I put on the show, but Airbnb has a long way to go because I think that Booking.com, Hotels.com, I think those guys are going to steal Airbnb's way of doing business. But I love the way they're going to do. All depends on what their price is. Airbnb, no more than $50 I would pay for them. No more than $50 or $60 because Priceline, Booking.com is $2,000. And to me, that has set the tone. They're the big boys on the block. So I would like to see Airbnb, which is unprofitable, and it's going to have some struggles because it has to go in and be able to take advantage. It has to grow its user base. Airbnb is like Uber. It's like the brother of Uber, but it's not. Because Airbnb is doing the exact same thing Uber did to cabs. Airbnb is trying to do to hotels. The only difference is there are big juggernaut companies like Marriott, Hilton, Hotels.com, big companies that already exist in that space. Uber was the biggest company and is the biggest company in that space. Whereas there are already big juggernauts like Booking.com, Orbitz, Travelocity. There's a bunch of companies that are already on there. Even though Airbnb is doing something new, they're going to mock, and they're already mocking what Airbnb is doing. So they're already kind of competition in that space already that's making Airbnb look for what you call. But I don't want to get into that whole episode. I just did an episode tonight in Hawaii on Airbnb IPO. That one will be out tomorrow, but I wanted to do one tonight on Roblox. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Jay White said I did. Sterwin said thank you. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out here. I got to get running. Until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me doing around the globe. Peace. Be safe. I'm out. Thank you.